alchemist and energy reader, and I'm just here to help y'all heal. And we're healing with humor because laughter is always the best medicine. Okay. Yes, and I am B. I am what I am. I never know how spirit is going to use me, so I'm just the vehicle to get you what you need. But as Ashley stated, we are here to help you heal. That's first and foremost from anything, anyone, yourself included. We're here to help you heal. That is our primary goal. And, healing looks different for everybody. And we understand that. Yeah. Right. So, did you decide if you wanted to do the cards or you just want to jump right into the conversation? Because either way, it's as good with me. I do want to jump into the cards, but I left my other deck in the other room. So let me grab that real quick. I'll be right back. And thank you everyone that is joining in. We realize that it's late, so you guys will definitely be able to catch the replay. It'll be up on my channel, of course, and also it's going to be up on Bestie's YouTube, the Healing Circle, I believe. Healing Room Tarot. Always get it wrong. You would think by now I would have it right. The Healing Room Tarot. It is fine. It is fine. It's so embarrassing. The Healing Room Tarot. So if you get a chance, Bestie, go ahead and put that in the comments and I'll pin it. All right. Since you're reading the cards, I'll do it. The Healing Room Tarot. Yep. Healing Room Tarot. Ooh. This is where you can find our other episodes of Cards Conversations. The Healing Room Tarot on YouTube. All right. Interesting. All right. I had to pull out the my Majestic Cannabis deck. It's one of my Oracle decks. At least I call it Oracle. It's Oracle for me. I will say that. Oh, I was supposed to say a message. Hi, Janice. I don't. Somebody just told me to say hi, Janice. So, Janice, if you're watching this live now, you can say hi back, or if you watch it in the future, say hi. Somebody wanted to send you a message from the other side. Just wanted to let you know that. And these videos are timeless, guys. You have to understand, overstand, and understand when it comes to tarot. These videos are timeless. So if things aren't resonating with you now, they may resonate with you in the future. So you don't have to watch this video and everything makes sense now. It may make sense later on. All right. So I was released to go ahead and just pull this one card for now, and the others will follow. But for the tarot card, the Hermit card came out. And I asked Spirit to kind of talk about, to relate it to today's topic. And what I'm getting is that there has been a protection of the light for a lot of people, even for the viewers, right? Because we're not in Hollywood per se, but we are exposed to a lot of things Hollywood. And so right now, what I'm getting is that the light is being protected because there's so many of us that still, even as adults, they say like once a child grows up, they lose their child essence, you know. But what Spirit is saying is that there is a parts of us that has a spiritual essence that has not been tampered with. So that's what I mean by there's a light within that has not been tampered with. It's being protected. If you can see it, you see how the man is holding the light. It's like
that's you, and it's beautiful. It's been disguised as a rose with thorns, meaning not everybody can pick you, not everybody can reach you. So maybe there's something about you that rubs people the wrong way. Well, it rubs people the wrong way for a reason, so that they don't have access to you, right? There's so many people. I was gonna say as I was growing up, but I guess as I was getting older, they used to say, "Oh, I never came to you before because I thought you were stuck up. I thought you were mean." So, and now, mind you, the same countenance that you see is the same countenance that they saw. But they, for whatever reason, felt like I was unreachable. But until I approached them and started having conversations with them, then they're like, oh. So for some of you, people have told you that you were mean. People told you that you were stuck up, unreachable, and it wasn't true. But that was because that was the way Spirit was protecting you, was protecting that light force that's inside of you. And one of the things, the two cannabis cards that came out was Mami Wata. And I've actually been talking about her recently, been doing a lot of things around Mami Wata. So I'm kind of glad that she's here, because if you're from the Caribbean, you know all about Mami Wata and what she does. In Ifa, they call her Yemaya. Okay? Listen, very powerful source. She's Mother Earth. She's giving, she's birthing, she's nurturing. But this card says memory, meaning a lot of people are going to start remembering where they came from before they were exposed to Hollywood. A lot of people have to get that, what they learned over the years, out of their system. It's almost like a spiritual detox, because once you've been exposed to so many things for so many years, you you may not take on all of the attributes, but you have been contaminated just a little bit. You got a little bit of something in you. So whenever you're watching the excuse me, whenever you're watching the stars and stuff, and you're like, oh, I want this, I want to be just like this person, and you start molding and fashioning yourself after that person, you don't know what they went through to get there, right? Um, there's this saying in the church that said, "You don't know my story, so you don't understand my praise. You don't understand the blessings because you don't understand what I had to go through to get this." And Spirit is saying, remember who you are at your core, because you don't know, because you're uniquely designed to be you. So when you start fashioning yourself after other people, you lose the essence of yourself, because you don't know what they had to do to get to that spot. And what you're doing is you're attracting spirits to you that will mean you no good. The next card is called Gratitude Rampage. It's already happened. And I want you to pay attention to the card, because look what's on the card. Music notes. And it says Gratitude Rampage. Be thankful that some of those doors was closed to you. Be thankful that you got to know, because it's already happened to some people where, I want to make sure I get this correct. It's already happened to some people where they can't come back, is what I'm getting. There's a lot of people that has gone too far. They're too far, um, removed from self, and because it's already happened, it's like they're in a trance. You know what? That's what music does. Music puts you in a trance. And so now I'm going to pull out some more tarot cards, because you have to hold on. The bottom of the deck was the Hierophant, by the way. Before I shuffled again. Um, but you have to be thankful, because we get. I kind of talked about this the other night, so it's kind of ironic to me. Um, when you're angry at something, when you have extreme amounts of anger, when something's pissed you off to the point where you're like, I gotta let go. I got to reset. Do it. Don't just ignore it. Actually do it because it's actually protecting you. It's protective energy. When you get depressed or sad about something and you have to disconnect because that's spirit's way of saying that's your internal alarm that says you need to disconnect from this person. You need to disconnect from this thing. So whatever emotion that comes to you that is not happiness or joy, that means you need to step back and really assess what's happening to you. And a lot of people were feeling that way and they didn't listen to that internal clock. And now they're dealing with things that they didn't know that they would have to endure, um, go through some things or under another set of thumb, right? Because we all talk about freedom of speech until we get under another thumb. And a lot of people can't pull out. It's too late for them. Okay. Next card, Four of Cups. Means it's a lot of people that's gonna come. There's some people that's gonna come out on top because they're gonna be relieved. They're gonna be healed from this thing. It's almost like that secret. I've been holding this for too long, and now I can finally tell that story. I finally have the freedom that I want to, you know. And then the next is the Page of Wands. They're gonna find new ways of being in the light where they're going to be receptive. People are going to accept them in spite of, right? It's that grace thing. And what I think a lot of people, especially people who have been abused, um, don't think about is once your abuser has been released from you, you have the freedom to start over. Because a lot of people will recognize that you were, like I said earlier, under someone's thumb. You couldn't get out of that. And spirit is like, once you're away from that person's rule, once you're out of someone's thumb, give yourself grace so that you can heal. Don't keep thinking that you're in bondage because you're not. And it's the same thing of this is June. Think about Juneteenth. Think about how a lot of people didn't know that they were free until they were made aware that they were free. And then people started, oh, I'm free? Oh, now I can do what I want. Now I can go out and make a life for myself. Now I can leave this ground that has been holding me down and back for so many years. And that's that same energy that spirit is saying right now. Don't once you're out from someone's thumb, once you're out from their ruling is what I'm hearing. You are free. And so it's going to be a lot of people that's going to have to reset. And now we have some people, and I'm talking about tonight's topic, that have left Hollywood in some form of fashion or left how we know them. And they have had a chance to heal. And now they're doing other things. And now they're not afraid to expose what we have not been privy to. And guess what? You have to get into that foolish energy and trust that spirit has got you. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I'm fearful for these people, these whistleblowers." Don't be fearful, because one thing about a whistleblower is that when someone's doing the whistleblowing for good intentions, no, it doesn't matter what somebody tries to do to them, they will always win because they have the right intentions. This world is all about what type of intentions are being pulled and being used when someone is doing something. And that's the reading for tonight.
Well said, Bestie. Well said. Two snaps and a kick. And you know, I'm always build off of what you said. I want to touch on a couple of points that you made that really stood out. The secrets coming out and the whistleblowing. But first, I want to get to when you were talking about the trance that a lot of these celebrities were in and under. Because you guys have to remember, music plays a major role in control. Music is frequencies, and frequencies control. So you have to remember, back in the ancient times, they used frequencies to heal. They use frequencies to cure cancer. So imagine if a frequency can cure cancer, what it can do to the mind. And XXX talks about this all the time, like how powerful frequencies are. So you have to be mindful what frequencies you're listening to, because if you're listening to the wrong frequency and you're going through some ish, and that right song comes on, shit could go left real quick. So be mindful of what you're taking in. Listen to 432 hertz, 532 hertz. These are all high vibrational frequencies, because the frequencies can control certain frequencies can control the mind and make you do things that you never even thought was possible. All right, so that's the first thing I wanted to touch on. And then also you mentioned secrets coming out and whistleblowers, and you guys have got to be living under a rock to not know what's going on with one of the most maniacal industries, entertainment. I know you guys watched the video when you saw him physically assaulting Cassie, and a lot of other things have come out, and just everybody is starting to talk about it, and it's not by surprise. It's not a coinky thing. This is year 8, 2024. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 4 is 8, and 8 is a karmic year. Now 8 is also the infinity symbol. So when you turn an 8 to the side, it's the infinity symbol, and that represents what goes up must come down. What goes around must come back around again. So a big reason why you guys are seeing a lot of these big wigs come down is because karma is coming through to collect. What goes up must come down, as above so below. What happens in the dark always comes to light. And so the scales have to be balanced. And this is why everything is happening how it's happening. And nobody is off limits. Right now, nobody is safe. Doesn't matter who you are, how much weight your name holds, nobody is safe right now. So,
right.
And me and Bestie were briefly talking about the video, the hotel video. And coincidentally, that video was recorded, 2016 we're talking about, Bestie? And it's just now coming out, which ties into what I just said. Like, everything has to come out. Everything comes up now this year to come out, so that justice can be served and people can be rightfully served. Either they're good karma or they're bad karma, because karma is neither bad or good. It all depends on the energy that you exuded. So if you exuded high vibrational energy, you're going to get that back in return. If you exuded low vibrational energy, if you put fear into people's hearts, if you dished out unnecessary, unwarranted ass whoopings, guess what? Your ass gonna get whooped in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So this is a karmic year. 8 is a karmic number, and it's a karmic year. Yep. Now, as far as the elevator ride, me and Bestie have briefly talked about that, and you guys have to remember that the reason why. Another reason why the video is just not coming out is because these celebrities never roll dolo. They have a team that's with them. And the team that they're with strategically plan where these guys are going to stay at, what restaurants they're going to eat at, so that if shit does go left, they have the right person to cover up what's happening. So Bestie and I even talked about it, and he brought something to my attention. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Like, they probably made a deal with the cameraman and told, or the person that was filming, okay, well, make this video go away and I'll pay you X amount of money. But word on the street is that Diddy didn't pay enough to make that video go away. This is the reason why it's still circulating and it's coming out. Not only because it's the 8th karmic year, but because he didn't give up enough pesos to make the video go away. So that's another reason why the video's coming out. But these celebrities, they travel in groups, and they have a team that strategically takes care of issues like this and makes sure that these issues go away. So I have a question that I wanted to pose for you guys, and Bestie, you can answer this first. Because I know this is going to be something that you're going to be jumping at the fence to answer. How do you think, because like I said, nobody is safe. So we're talking about everybody who has done their dirt. And this is from the political parties to the top music mongols, and this is also these big wigs that are on the pulpit too. So,
yep.
How do you think that he needs help? She said he needs to heal. And that brought me back to my pastor. Like, I don't understand why people don't see that they're human first. And the reasoning behind him doing all of this, behind him being volatile and violent, has to be because he has an imbalance within. And so he needs to go internally and figure out what the imbalance is and what he needs to do. And first and foremost, that involves him staying the F off of social media, staying the F out of the spotlight, stop giving out the scripted apologies, and just go heal. Like, go off into the sunset and go heal. But when Misa said that, I was like, that is so true. Like, because it's so easy for us to say, Kim, he's a woman beater, he needs to go to hell, let's go beat his ass. But there's a disconnect with him. When you look at him, he's very pensive. He always looks like he's deep in thought or he's plotting. He's very pensive. And so, yeah, that's because he's a Scorpio, so it's very hard to read a Scorpio off the rip. But when you look at him, he always looks like he's deep in thought. And the eyes are the windows to the soul. So I'm always looking for information by looking into someone's eyes, because that tells me everything I need to know. But with him, it's blank. It's like all the lights are on, but nobody's there. So I agree with Misa. He needs to go off into the sunset and just go heal. Go heal. And I wish that my pastor, former pastor, had that opportunity to just go heal. And I wish the congregation would have offered him those services to heal. Because it's so easy to point the finger and laugh and judge and ridicule. But a lot of people are missing a couple screws. They're missing self-love.
And I would even say this, and I talked a little bit about it. I want to say on our last episode, or I do know it was a previous episode where I was talking about how, and it may have even been on my other channel, honestly. Just being real, it could have been on my other channel. But I talked about how spirits will take your hurt and your pain. There are certain spirits, entities that will take your hurt and pain and turn it into something more. They will groom you to do something more. They will groom you to do evil things. And one of the documentaries that I watched was talking about how Diddy always paid homage to his father. Yet his father died when he was 3 years old. But his father was also known as an evil, enduring man, which is, he was a gangster. And that's what it caused his demise, was his evilness, basically. Him being on the street. And that, how many times have we seen movies where somebody died a horrific death and they come back as an evil spirit? Those things are true, because if you think about it, if you die violently and it won't your time to go, you're angry because somebody took your life away from you too soon. There are evils. As someone who sees spirits now, I have seen some things, and I'm like, wait, let me hold up. I kick it back. I didn't do this, and I need you to leave this space. The spirits are real. There are entities. These things are real. We're not just talking folklore. If you're watching this as a skeptic, don't think this is entertainment. This stuff is real. People go through real things. Possession is real, right? I need people to understand that. And what we're seeing in him, because even when I watched his apology, the first thing I said was his eyes are too dark. They look soulless. And so when you're talking about someone who is prizing himself off of being feared, you're talking about a tyrant that the spirits are saying, these entities are saying, oh, I can use that. I can give you anything that you want if you just be feared. And when you start fearing a lot of people too often, you're giving them more power because you're letting them know, I see you and I fear you. Anything you say, I will do because I don't want to be um, I don't want to be on the other side of the stick, the gun, the whip, whatever, right? But when you're someone like me who always goes against the grain, now you know that that was wrong. Why did you do that? And I even tell my friends, if I do something wrong, correct me because I'm the first to tell people if I do something wrong, I will come back and apologize. If I say something wrong, I will come back and correct it. I don't mind correction because I would rather be right than to be wrong. That is me personally. I would rather for someone to know me as someone loving and healing than a tyrant. That again, that's me. These are personal choices. So I do want you to understand that you have personal choices. So you can either go along with unhealed anger, unhealed hurt, and unhealed pain, and allow those entities to come into your life and continue to use you to wreak havoc in other people's lives. But understand that that thing called karma is going to get you and not those spirits. The things and some people you may be watching it and it may be people that you know of. They keep constantly going through negative and bad stuff because they allow these entities to use them as tools. That's why I said I am an instrument for spirit to use. I am what I am. But I protect myself from certain spirits because I know how they operate. They don't operate on the same playing field as someone. They operate. Think about manipulation to like the 100th power. They are manipulating your emotions. That's why it's important for you to get into alignment. That's why it's important for forgiveness. That's why it's important to understand your triggers and then understand why you are being triggered. Get to the root of those problems and release it from your heart space. Because when you release those things from your heart space, those entities and those spirits have nothing to work with. You're making them powerless.
That's right. They have nothing to feed off of. That's right, Bestie. And always remember that fear is low vibrational. Fear
Exactly.
is low vibrational. And these entities will bank off of you being afraid of the unknown. That's why you have to have knowledge of self, because what you don't know can hurt you. What you don't know can be detrimental to your healing and to your soul's growth. But I want to talk about something that you touched on, Diddy's father and his untimely demise. Because we have to remember that we cannot go out with a heavy heart. Our heart has to be light as a feather. Because the ancient Egyptians, and Bessie, you know about this, the ancient Egyptians believed that when you go and you are faced with your maker, before you meet your maker, you have to go through Mayat, the goddess of truth. The goddess of truth. And she weighs your heart against the feather. And if that heart is heavier than that feather,
baby,
that's where like you can't go no further.
You stuck.
So make sure that
I say you are stuck.
You're stuck. And so that's why you have to make sure that your heart is as light as a feather. And I'm a firm believer this is the reason why we have haunted houses, because people are stuck on this playing field and they can't leave. And where did they take their last breath? It may have been that house that you're in or that street. That's why that street is haunted. And these people are stuck because their heart was heavy. It wasn't light as a feather. So always remember that whatever you're going through, it's going to get better. But you got to heal it. Because if you don't heal it, it's going to hurt you. You have to heal it. All right, guys?
Yes.
Now, I don't know if they know that we have a background in entertainment and in Hollywood and things of So I don't know if anybody on right now is interested in being in Hollywood or entertainment or acting or singing or anything, but I have some pointers and some helpful hints to give you guys if you're looking to enter the entertainment industry, whether it be acting or any form of creative expression, just so you guys are not steered in the wrong direction and end up like what's going on right now, what's playing out now in the entertainment industry. So the first thing I have written down is stay true to your values. Okay, what you believe, stay true to them. Don't allow anybody with more money, more rank, more status to prove you otherwise. If you believe this, you believe that. It's good to take in other opinions, but if you are a firm believer of this, then stay true to that.
Protect that light. Protect that light. That was that. Remember the hermit card. Protect that light that's within. You have to protect it.
That is your truth, and you have to protect it with every fiber of your being. The second thing I have is understand the law of karma, and that ties right into what year we're in right now. Year 8, the law of karma. Believe that what goes up must come down. So if you do happen to veer off to the left, or veer off your soul's path, or do some unkind things just to get you to that next level, just know that at some point it's gonna come back to bite you. These are the laws of karma. Karma may not happen expeditiously, but karma is going to happen. And sometimes it happens when you least expect it. And you know, I read this post, and it's so true. It said karma is the most patient gangster, and it is. Karma will wait a generation just to get that ass back. So don't ever think that you got away with anything, because karma is patience. Karma will wait and get the next generation and get your grandkids. So always stay true to yourself and understand the laws of karma.
I have to say this really quickly because this, as you was talking, I heard. I was trying to remember the name, but it's Janet Jackson's song. But I heard that part where she said, "Hi," she said, "I bet you think this song is about you, don't you?" Like, and it's just like, yeah, I bet you think this song is about you because it is about you. And then I heard the words, "Ha ha hoo hoo." Thought you get the money too, greedy mother. Have you thought you have your cake and eat it too? But the real saying is, thought you have your cake and eat it too. So it's like you thought you was going to have all of these things, but no, you're not, because you caught up in your own. It's like you set up a self booby trap and you didn't even know it. That's what a lot of these people are saying. And I had to bring this up. This was the first card that came out of that last pull that I did, because there's 3 extra cards, and it says food meditation, and it says I can. A lot of people was in this energy of I can do this because I have all this wealth. I can do this because I'm the one that's putting the food on the table for so many people. And with that high-minded thinking, they thought they were untouchable until karma is coming in.
That's right, bestie. That is, I'm telling you, karma is very patient to where
very patient.
And karma's like, oh, I ain't forget nothing, because karma takes tabs on everything and everybody. The third thing I wrote down is surround yourself with positive influences. Now, when I say positive, I do not mean someone who's hiring in, who is connected to everyone, or who has a lot of bank. You know somebody's positive by the energy, by their aura, by how you feel when you're around them, okay? Because your body always lets you know what's up before you know what's up, which is the reason why whenever you get sick, your nose starts running or you start coughing, it's your body letting you know something's not right. Internally, something's not right. So your body's gonna let you know when you're around the wrong energy. When the wrong energy shows up, the right energy knows. Like, you know when something's off. So always surround yourself around the right people, and you know when you're around the right people.
Exactly. You know.
Internally, you'll know. Right, bestie?
You know. Listen, I knew my bestie when I first met her. I said, "Oh, we're gonna be friends a long time." I promise you. I came home. right. We met during it was open house in the summer. In the summer, because our parents had to stay, I think, at Broy Hill. Right. The summer before we went to school, I will never forget it because it was me, you, and it was two other people. But we clinged on, and I said, yeah, we're not gonna part. That's we gonna be that we in this thing forever.
It was definitely death row. Like it was definitely death row. I definitely was not letting Bessie get away from me, get out of
Okay.
my sight. Like I knew automatically when we locked eyes, I knew I was gonna be a friend forever.
Mm-hmm. And she used to live on East Campus. I live on West Campus, and I was like, listen, I ain't seen my friend in a minute. Hold on, girl, what you doing? I'm coming over. Let's meet in the caf because I gotta see you. And so when you have those type of relationships, you know, you know.
Yeah, it was definitely love at first sight.
Yeah.
The last thing I have is keep learning and evolving because the entertainment industry is always ever changing. I mean, something is always changing with the rules and regulations, what they're looking for, what's in style, what's trending. So you have to keep evolving and growing and never think that you know enough. Okay, the person that knows everything knows nothing. You can always learn something. Be curious, honor your craft, and be open to new ideas and things. Okay, this is the entertainment industry. You have to always stay one step ahead of the game. Always. You got to be on your P's and Q's, and you got to be, honestly, you got to be 10 steps ahead of people.
Mm-hmm.
Jarabi Benson talked about leaving everything behind and moving, I think, to California. And she was like, nah, like if I want to be an A-list actress, I'm leaving everything that I know behind. And I'm going to be on top of that. Now, I'm not telling you guys to do that, but I'm just saying, like, be open to change because the person that goes the hardest is usually the person that makes it.
Yep.
That's usually the person that makes it, the one that goes the hardest for it. Yep. And that's similar to what I did. Best thing is not like leaving North Carolina, moving here. I was like,
baby,
I'm not looking back.
I was inspired. I was so happy I was so happy for my best friend. I said, girl, you were doing it. You doing it for the both of us. I'm not even doing it yet. But I'm glad that you're doing it. I'm glad that she had those experiences. Baby, I get excited when I see people winning, when I know that they've done the work and they put forth the work to do it. I love it. Even if I don't even know you, I always celebrate you. And the misconception is even if I see somebody that I dislike winning, I'm like, come on, you out here doing your thing. We may not get along, we may not talk, whatever. I don't care about that. But if I see you winning, baby, I'm yes, sir. If I know somebody, do you know somebody? Look, I don't really talk to the person that way, but hey, go to this person because I know they're gonna get you. I know they're gonna listen. You know, that's who I am. But I have a question. Cause what was that last word that you said? What was your last point?
I talked about keep learning and evolving, like always staying 10 steps ahead of the game.
Because the last card, the middle card, is revolution. But it came out sideways. And so I asked Spirit, well, why is it sideways? Because I was going to turn it upright and Spirit said, no, leave it. Because what I'm getting is that because you can revolutionize yourself by going forward or by going backwards. Because see, when we talk about revolution, we always thinking about progressive. We're doing better. But there are some people who revolve the opposite way. So you was up here, but now you're doing bad and you're trying to figure out how were you able to do bad. It's because of the people that you let in your spaces. It's because of the things that you allow them to tell you and train you to do. Because that's another reason why it's important to be intuitive. I don't know why I got to bring this up, but ever since we've been talking, I've been getting this. So I'm going to say it. So it's like the indigenous people. I have indigenous roots, so I can speak on this thing because it happened to my family. We had our ways of living, And someone else from the outside came and told us that that was wrong, and they tried to erase us. Now, there are some of us who don't know our traditional things, the things that we did, and the things of how we lived, and how we honored the earth, how we honored the sky, how we honored God in spirit, in spirit's true form, right? We were told that we were wrong. They even made us change our name. The way you're spelling your name is wrong. It goes like this. Why do you have an S? Remove the S, things like that. So it's like one family, my direct family, mind you, we have like 2 to 3 different spellings of our last name, and and we know that we're blood related. We know that from the stem from which we come from, right? And so it's that same energy of don't let somebody tell you who you are not. You know to the core who you are. You know to the core what your product will do. You know to the core what your business, your industry, your vision will do. Do not stray from that. Keep it, because it's something in it. I don't care if it's never been done before and people say, ha ha ha, you foolish. Remember, the fool card came out. Be the fool then. Be the fool to the world and confound the wise, because they're so wise. They know everything when they don't. Because we each have our own walk, we each have our own gifts, and with that comes our own territories. With that comes our own experiences that will help other people.
That's right. That's right. And that also goes back to the first thing that we talked about, Bestie, staying true to yourself, not allowing anyone to deprogram you and then reprogram you. So when you mentioned being indigenous and going back to your roots, and then taking us away from our roots and just whitewashing everything that we ever known to have been connected to the roots, it just really breaks my heart to know that we have forgotten where we came from. We've forgotten who we are. We've forgotten why we're here. That breaks my heart into a million pieces. And this is
Right.
why we need to knowledge of self. And that starts with healing and going within. And I hate that people think that the healing journey is just butterflies and marshmallows and floating through sunflowers. It's not. I put
No.
up a meme a couple months ago. Sometimes healing is screaming and throwing things and having many sleepless nights. Healing is not going to always be beautiful, but it's necessary. And it's going to look and feel different for everyone. But it's the first step to having knowledge of self. You have to heal. When you know better, you do better. And by doing better is healing yourself so that you can do better. All right, guys?
Mhm.
I'm not going over anybody's head. I'm not even go over anyone's head. When you know better, you do better.
Right, exactly.
So that was all I had for the tips and tricks to anyone who's looking to enter, into entertainment or Hollywood. Because let's face it, right now it's not looking good. It's looking like Hollywood is really going to hell in a handbasket. But I do believe that everything has to fall in order to come together again. And I think that if you go into the entertainment industry with a plan and a healthy mindset on what you want to achieve, and you have supportive, trusted people around you, I do believe you can make it. There are several people I know have not sold out of Hollywood, but they went in with a plan. So don't go into it blindsided, not knowing what you want, not being able to figure out who you can trust. Go in there with knowledge of self and go into it with a plan. And you won't lose.
Exactly.
So
You
that's
will
all I
not
have.
lose.
If you have anything else you want to add, that's all I have to add to anyone who's looking to enter the entertainment industry. You got to be relentless. It's not going to be easy. Because whatever you can do, guess what? Person can do it 20 times better.
Yeah, I was just thinking about how many artists has said over the years that they went independent for a reason, but we never know what those reasons were. So yeah, and not only do we know, but it also sheds light that you can still reach other people and you can still reach that top. There's other ways of doing it. And my best example is this, and I always say this, and I will always share this until the I transcend to the other side of life. That if you really for my Bible heads, for my Christians that's watching this, or if you know the story of the Christian version of how the earth was formed, there is a verse in Genesis that talks about how God watered the earth from the ground up before the earth started getting watered from the sky down. And I said, wait, so there was another system already. There was a system inside of the earth already saying that you have everything that you need from the inside that will work for you, that will help you produce all these things on the outside. So you mean to tell me that I don't need this contract from a major record label to reach 1 million people? You're saying that I don't have to be a screenwriter per se for my words to become a movie? You mean to tell me I can write a book and that book can become a whole movie? I can write a poem and that poem can become a whole movie. I can do makeup, for my I'm stuck to being a makeup artist for people in the elderly care system, right? That for our aging adults, right? And I don't see it yet, but one of the grandmothers that I make sure her makeup is flawless every time, has a best friend that lives in 2 states away that's connected with the multimillionaire. And she talks about how good her friend looks. And she wants to see her friend. And this multimillionaire takes his grandmother to see her best friend. And now he wonders who is the person that's doing this makeup because I need somebody in my office like this. And now you somehow start working with this multimillionaire. You see how that all works? So, and there's also another scripture that says things work together for our own good. And so, even with the bad stuff, right? We have to start looking at those bad things, those irritants that happen in our life as a redirection. Okay, so if it's irritating me now, that means over here, that means I need to go over here. Because do we not do that with product? If we have an allergic reaction to soap powder, oh, well, I can't use that soap powder, so I'm gonna go use this other brand. And then we find, oh, well, this brand, I can work with this brand. You see how that works? That's Spirit has set up this earth to give us signs about how we manifest and how the spiritual world works, but we often miss it because we look from humanistic eyes. We don't put all the pieces together the right way. And so even with you wanting to get into that space, that notoriety, know that you can also get notoriety where you are now. My grandmother used to tell me something, and I honestly didn't. I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't believe it. I just didn't see it for myself. I just like I'm not doing that much of greater things. And she used to say, like, your name will go further than you will. So when I was volunteering my time, there was a time I was volunteering for an organization. I was running a nonprofit organization at the age of 25 years old. I was running a federally funded organization for my community at 25 years of age. I need you to understand this as a volunteer. I had two other jobs to give me. I was working at McDonald's and I was an after school teacher, but I was running an organization that was not paying me in cash, in dinero, in coinage, nothing, nada. But I was building my skills. And also during that time, my name was being spread to offices that I had not yet reached. So whenever I would go to state meetings, people would come up to me, "You're Brian. Let's talk. Let's sit at this table and plan some things." Even when I moved to the last city that I was in, New people will come into the city. Oh, well, you need to meet him. And if you ever get a chance to meet him, pick his brain and see what you get. You'll get everything that you need. You'll get solutions. And I'm like, people were actually talking about me. Yeah, I heard about you before I met you. And so that's the type of things that Spirit is trying to get some of you all that are watching. So when you're going through those struggles on your jobs and you're like, okay, yeah, it may be time to move, but it also may be time for you to look at another department or another position in your at your job because your name is getting spread out there. You're famous and don't even know it already. And you're just like, I wish I had something different. But when people see you, they see this part of you. They see that smile. They see you ready to work. They see that drive in you. They see that hunger in you that Ashley talked about earlier. That hunger, that work that you're putting in. And then that makes people want to actually connect with you. So it may not be with the glitter and the lights and the glam, but that does not mean that it's not opportunity. Let's not confuse Hollywood with opportunity, right? Hollywood is glitz and glam, but opportunity is something different.
That's right. And like Betsy said, sometimes success is not on a global scale. Sometimes success could be locally, but you want to touch people. You want to touch hearts. You want to change lives. Sometimes you can do that better locally than you could ever do globally. Because then the people are actually getting to interact with you. And isn't that more fulfilling than people just seeing an image of you on TV or on the stage? Like actually being able to interact and help the people, or having people watch you but still being able to interact with you locally. Success doesn't equate globally. Sometimes success is local. Sometimes you touch that one person, and that's that one person you were supposed to touch. Okay? You just never know. Like, we have our own mind made up of what we want to do, but sometimes that's not what Spirit wants us to do. And sometimes that's not what our soul's purpose is. We want to do these things, but sometimes Spirit wants us to do it this way. We try to go that way, and Spirit's like, no, you're going to do it this way. So you just never know. But always go within and trust yourself. But that starts with having knowledge of self. And this is what we're going to preach to you guys until we are blue in the face. Having knowledge of self is going to make it easier for you guys to trust yourself.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope we got that message out to whoever needed to hear it.
Yes.
And those of you joining in now, catch the replay because for those that haven't uploaded, I pinned where you guys can check it out. Also, if you're not on Instagram, but if you're watching now, you're obviously on Instagram. But if you're on YouTube, you can also check us out in the Healing Room Tarot. That is Bestie's channel, where he also does readings as well. Yes. So if you have anything else to say, Bestie,
just really something quick, because you pulled it out of me, because you was talking about you never know who you're going to touch. Now, I know if you all saw the remake of the Selena movie, it was another movie about Selena. I did, that movie touched me, right? But there's this one scene in the new movie where she goes to this little black girl and she says, "Oh, you're cute. You're going to be a star one day." And they said that little girl that Selena touched was Beyonce. You never know who you're going to touch. You never know who you're going to inspire.
wow.
You never know how you're going to change somebody, the course of that. Like, oh, that person actually came to me and talked to me and touched my hand, and now I feel like I can take on the world. So not oftentimes is your assignment to be the star, but your assignment may be to help build the star. Just wanted to say that.
No, I'm glad you threw that in there, because you just never know. And like I said, like, you may touch that one person, and that one person may become a global superstar, even bigger than you and bigger than your assignment. And it was your job to touch them so that they could touch millions.
Yes.
You're touching one and they're touching
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like that's profound. That is profound. So thank you for doing that, Bessie. That was a great way for us to end the show. So
Yeah.
we thank you, everyone that was able to join us on our 16. We're almost at 20, Bessie. Oh
Sweet
my
16. Hey.
Thank you guys for joining us on our 16th episode of Arts and Conversations, where every episode unfolds a deck of intriguing discussions. Like I said, this episode will be up on my page as well as Bessie's YouTube page. So definitely check it out, The Healing from Tarot. And we'll see you guys here every Tuesday, same time, same place, 11:11 Eastern Standard Time for Cards and Conversation. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Yes. Bye. Bye. Thank you all for tuning in as well. I apologize for getting to you all later, but thank you all for tuning in. If you watch these on this channel, it is not get unnoticed. And I pray blessings over you and your households. So thank you for tuning in.